We have a special game today in honor of
Yes.
the NFL. Hand egg season is just around the corner, and fantasy drafts are everywhere. Everyone's trying to get into their pools. So, Garrett, this was actually your brilliant idea that you and I take
Let's
the credit.
give Platt a little bit of credit.
Don't give Oliver Platt any credit. He refuses to come on camera for this show, so we're going to pretend like all of these ideas were ours.
Okay.
Your idea for the draft. It's very simple. We are going to take turns picking the best CPL team we can. We're going to go a starting 11, 3 subs, and we're just going to go back and forth, and we're going to try and make it this the best we can. I have different strategies. I think I'm going to try and represent every single team. That is the task I'm giving myself to make sure it's a little bit balanced, which is going to make it a bit more difficult, but I think it's going to be a fun balance.
And I'm much more cutthroat.
Yes,
We'll
play to
see.
win.
We'll see how many teams I land on here.
Yes.
I'm just going to pick the best team I think is possible. Are you a fantasy sports guy?
Not really.
No?
I'm the classic, like I'm invested for a month making trades and then like I'll have a bad week and just forget about it and it's tucked in the
I
side.
have 2 NFL fantasy drafts upcoming this week. So this is right up my alley. I love fantasy sports. So let's do this, okay?
Gonna get the rest off for you.
And we're not doing this to collect points. I just want to pit my team
Yes.
against your team, and the public can decide which team's better.
Let them.
That's it.
Love it.
Judge us.
Okay.
Judge our picks.
So,
how are we going to do this?
The only rule is that the formation kind of has to make sense. It can't be
course.
like, that's it. That's the only rule we're going
Not
to
like
go
a
here.
FIFA best 11 with like 5 straight. Yes, it has to be a legit starting 11.
Okay. Who should go first?
Well-
we probably should have decided this ahead of time.
Paper, rock, scissors?
Paper, rock, scissors.
Okay.
Okay. So paper, rock, scissors.
1, 2, 3.
Yes, got it.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Paper,
beads.
scissors, rocks. Okay.
That can be a decisive play. By the way,
I won.
yes, Adam had paper. I always go rock, by the way.
You shouldn't have told me that
my
ahead of time. So I got the first pick in this very prestigious draft. And
This is huge because if you pick who I was thinking about going first overall,
it could completely change the strategy.
This might completely change my strategy.
And what the last format thing to be clear about, it's just going to go I pick, you pick, I pick, you pick, back and forth until we're through the 22. Yes. Okay, I have to, based on the way he's playing and the vibes right now, draft from Atletico Ottawa, first overall, Oliver Bassett. No brainer, can absolutely build a team around Ollie.
Would it be my first pick? And
But now you have like carte blanche, you can do whatever you want.
But I wanted Bassett as my first pick, and it was going to dictate who I picked second, basically.
Okay.
And now I think I need to have a little bit of a rethink. So you have the top midfielder in my eyes. I think I need to go with the most assured striker. And I know that he's just come back to the Canadian Premier League, but I'll take him over anyone in this league, especially if we're playing my team versus your team, just one game in a one-off. Let's go Alejandro Diaz. Güero Diaz.
El Güero.
I mean, he had the greatest goal-scoring season in Canadian Premier League history. He's back. What's it? A couple goals already. Looks a threat. Is that a reach, you think? As my first pick?
It might be a bit of a, but like he is one of the greatest goal scorers in CPL history. And you got to think too, this is assuming everybody's healthy. It's whatever formation you want to play. And it's in form, but also some track record.
Okay.
So I don't mind that pick at all.
Okay.
So back to me. And speaking of players who recently returned to the Canadian Premier League, scored a gorgeous goal again this weekend. I'm going to go to the Halifax Wanderers, and I'm going to take the Brazilian sensation, João Morelli. It's a strong start, Bassett Morelli.
I wanted both those guys. Because I wanted both those guys, but I wanted them to play with the player that's going to be my next pick. It's just a no-brainer. Arguably the greatest player in Canadian Premier League history, Mr. Reliable, Kyle Becker.
Great job.
I was thinking if I had Becker, Bassett, Morelli playing in a triangle.
It's a heck of a triangle.
So, okay, I'll go Becker.
So we're already starting to see Gareth's going, he wants a track record here. I think I'm going to stay a little bit of recency bias, a little bit of flair, players that are really impressing me right now. And I'm actually going to stay with the Halifax Wanderers and take Lorenzo Caligari off the board.
Ooh, okay. Back-to-back Halifax Wanderers. Interesting.
I might not be done depending on what you do.
And the way that number sixes are being valued in world football, decent pick there. My third pick, okay, you've loaded up on the midfield. I got to load up on the midfield as well. If I'm going to go Becker, I'm going to go the West Coast.
Okay.
Kyle Becker.
The West Coast Becker.
And that's Manny Aparicio.
Yeah.
He can drive a team forward. He's a winner. He's a baller. He's a player. So Becker and Aparicio is my midfield. Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Okay.
Diaz, Becker, Aparicio.
You've planted the seed, and I was half joking about going back to Halifax.
Are you going another?
I think I'm going to do a clean sweep and take Dan Nimick and just strengthen the spine of my team. I'd like to think I have 3 MVP candidates in the top 4 right now.
And they're all with Halifax Wanderers.
Bassett, MVP candidate.
Right.
Caligari, MVP candidate. Dan Nimick, he probably won't get MVP votes, but he's probably the best defender in the league. Right?
By the way, you can't give an MVP award to a center back.
Don't open that can of worms now. We don't have time for that
you can't
debate
do
right
it.
now.
But, okay. So, okay, you picked a center back.
Yep.
I'll go a center back as well. He can score goals, great off set pieces, pillar of strength, and experience as well. Amir Didic.
Great show.
Back-to-back Pacific FC players.
Okay, so
Aparicio, Didic.
Wheels goes Didic. I was going to say...
By the way, my formation thoughts might be changing as I'm going through this as well.
Trying to pencil it in. This is what I think I want, and then it changes drastically. I'm panicking a little bit because I wanted Didic.
Did you?
I did want Didic. I do. I like the aerial threat.
Go over him.
I did take Nimick. Okay. Because I'm panicking and I want to make sure that I really have a great center back tandem. Speaking of Defensive Player of the Year nominees, Dan Klomp. Mm-hmm. So I'm going the double Dan.
I love Klompy.
The double Dan center back duo for Jenkins. So that's Klomp, Nimick, Caligari, Morelli, and Bassett.
And you have a double A Dan.
I do have a double A Dan.
And a regular Dan. Okay. I'm not going to go with the Dan.
Great 5.
I like the spine of my team. Let's continue to build. I want Becker and Aparicio to play a little bit higher up. And I want to be able to cover them in behind. You have Caligari, but I'm going to go for a guy that's proven to be like a wall and plenty of experience. Alberto Zapater. Zapater 5th. Is that a reach, you think? A little bit too early?
No,
Zapater?
I'm actually loving...
He's changed Ottawa, like the way that he...
He's definitely solidified them. He's the Abdul Sissoko replacement that they need. That stability lets everyone ahead of them play free. I think you can build, depending on the forward players you get. I actually quite like that pick. I'm a bit surprised to see an Ottawa player from you not name Bassett so early because they're just a deep team, but no real like superstars. But I really like where you're going with that shout for Zapater.
Okay.
So I've got an Atletico Ottawa. I've got 3 Wanderers. I got a Cavalry player. I'm going to go to York United, and I'm going to take, on his day, the most talented player in the Canadian Premier League, Mo Babuli.
Yep. Where do you think you're going to put him? 9,
I was going
10?
to go 4-3-3, but I think with Caligari being so good and really responsible center backs, I might put him as a 10.
Okay.
I might put him as a 10.
Let's see where you end up.
Yeah.
You have flexibility there.
I do.
And speaking of flexibility, I'm going to go back to Ottawa because I think that this player, you can plug him and play him in so many different roles. He can shift in and play in the center back. He's an outstanding, the best right back for me in this league. Can also play up in midfield if need be. Let's go Miguel Acosta.
That's a great pick. It's a really good pick.
And no flash, but just efficient, reliable, top player for me.
He was
back-to-back Ottawa picks.
He was number 2 for me on my Ottawa depth chart and players I would have taken after Bassett. So I actually quite like that pick a lot.
Okay.
This is going to be the first one that I'm kind of going out on a limb because speaking of players that are just back, I'm clearly going with severe recency bias, and I'm okay with that. But he has been electrifying since coming back, playing for his hometown team. He's got all the vibes. He's going to do backflips on my team. Of course, I'm taking Willie Akio.
Yeah.
So we're going to put him right on the wing, on the right wing. And I'm starting to really round out. I like the speed that I'm starting to put together here.
That changes things for me because I probably would have gone Akio next. But now
I think I won that coin toss.
I think you got to play a little bit more narrow. I'm looking at another Cavalry player.
Okay.
And he's one of my favorite players in the Canadian Premier League, and he hasn't been picked. And this might be the ultimate value pick, but I think I'm going to play him as a 10. I think I have to go with Ali Musi.
Ali Musi goes 14th.
I have to take him. So based upon that, I'm going to play a midfield diamond. Zapateur at the base, Aparicio and Becker, and Moosey in front of them.
Okay, so that
Ooh, I like that. I'm a big 4-4-2 guy.
the moose is off the board.
I am a 4-4-2 guy.
Okay, so you're kind of
7 in.
I hate to admit this. Yeah, 7 picks each. You're kind of inspiring me to look at the larger picture, not just this year, but success all the way back to 2019 in the league. Healthy again, recovered from his broken collarbone and representing Vancouver. I'm going to take Caden Chung as my right back.
As your right back.
As my right back.
I prefer him at right back, so decent pick for me.
And then he just frees up Akio to just do his thing. I like that.
Okay, we'll move this along. Based on the 4-4-2, this isn't going to be recency bias because I don't think he's been great this year, but I think he has bags of potential and he can have a strong finish to the season, and you'll think about him the way that you thought about him at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Woo, woo!
The Pasillas train has arrived.
Pasillas playing up top with Wero Diaz. Pasillas Diaz up top.
Yeah, that's a really good striker duo.
Again, I'm a big 4-4-2 guy. Let's go 2 up top. I like that.
Now, I could pivot and go for a bit more striking power. But the strikers really haven't been the story in the CPL. It's been a lot of really good midfielders. And I got some speed on the right side now. I got to balance it a little bit on the left. And not only am I going to get a young Canadian, but I'm going to get a shout for Valor in there. I think, injury aside, he's had an unbelievable season. And if he can get healthy, he might be the thing that keeps them in the race. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I'm going to take Matteo De Brienne. And as much as I'd love him up top, he can if we want to. Here at Team Jenkins, but he's going to go left back for me. So De Brienne from Valor.
He made my list to be considered to draft because I do rate the player.
So by the way, my back line is De Brienne, Klomp, Nimick, Chung, and then Caligari in front of them.
Okay. Not bad. I need to fill my gaps at the back because I have Acosta and Didic. And let's add another center back partner. He might be the best center back, in fairness.
I think my dad Nimick would have
Diego Espejo. Another Atletico Ottawa player. A team that
3 Atletico Ottawa players for Wheeler. I love that.
Look, the way that they defend this team collectively, individually, Espejo is at the heart of it all. So Espejo and Didic, my 2 center backs.
Okay, my last outfield player. I mean, I could take a goalkeeper, but I'm not going to take a goalkeeper at this point in the draft.
I appreciate how neither of us have taken a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
This is an Andy Petrillo show today.
Right. She would take all of them. We'd have to make a specific rule: 1 goalkeeper only for Petrillo. Okay, my last player. Who have I not picked from yet? I don't have a Pacific player yet. You took Didic. I don't. You have Aparicio and Didic. Yep. And with all due respect to their goalkeepers, I'm not going there. Not at this point in this season. I am going to take, I know he's more of a sub. He's been the fantastic finisher this year, but he's got 12 goal contributions, and his goal contributions per minute is really high. He's electrifying. Iman Salouf is going to join my team. So I think
it's an interesting one. Why
I'm going to commit to the 4-1-4-1 is what I'm going to commit to here.
But you're starting him.
Yes, I'm starting him.
James Merriman might not. Adam Jenkins is starting him.
We don't always have to see eye to eye.
Okay. Now, a left back, I think I need a bomber because the way that this team is built, Zapateur can step back, Acosta can shift over into a back 3. I just need someone that can bomb down that left side. And he typically plays higher up the field, but let's go Gote Intigne.
I forget about Intigne.
I just think that my team is a little bit longer in the tooth. I got a lot of experience in this team. Yeah. I think I need some pace, some young legs. He's going to start playing back a little bit more, but he's free to push forward. A free roll down the left side. Gote Intigne.
Gote Intigne. Okay, so goalkeeper. I really want to take Nate Ingham because I highly rate the guy, and I think he might be the most talented goalkeeper in the Canadian Premier League. But I'm going to stay true to my promise of representing every single club. And that means it's a no-doubt slam dunk for Tristan Henry as my goalkeeper, who, to me, is having his best season in 5 years in the CPL.
Okay.
Rounds out my team and every club represented.
Like, look, Ingham could be a pick. Ray and Yesley's been excellent this year, but I'm going to go with even more leadership. I got a lot of leaders in my team, but this guy has been probably the top goalkeeper in the Canadian Premier League since the league started. I'm going to go with reliability. Marco Carducci
Can't go
is
wrong
my
with Carducci.
goalkeeper. So Carducci. So Carducci's my goalkeeper. Espejo, Didic are my center backs. Acosta on the right, Insigne on the left. Zapater
And
playing
Tigny left
behind.
back.
Yep. Becker, Aparicio, Musi, Diaz, Pasillas up top.
Okay. So again, I'm in the 4-1-4-1. Henry in goal. De Bruyne, Klump, Nimick, Chung, left to right. Caligari, Saloof, Bassett, Babuli, Akio, Morelli. I love this team. Okay.
Let's add some subs
Let's
really
add some
quickly.
subs.
Let's go
How about-
rapid fire.
You want to go rapid fire? Okay.
Yeah, let's go quickly.
I took the first pick, so why don't you take the first sub?
I wanted to find a way to get him into my team, so I'm happy I can put him on my bench. Massimo Ferrin.
Great show. I couldn't take a fourth Wanderer. I couldn't do it for the balance, but I think that's a really good job. He's had a great year. For me, I need a little bit more help at the 9. I got to shore that up because I don't have a true out and out. Morelli can be more of that 10. I want an out and out number, and I'm going to go Meyer Bevan.
Bevan, one of the top goal scorers in the CPL
One
this
back
year.
of the Golden Boot.
Let's go the top defender in the Canadian Premier League from a season ago, but can also play as a 6. Alexander Ashinodi Janssen makes my team as well.
Alex Stones, if you ask the Canadian Premier League. And next up for me, I'm going to go some cover at fullback, versatile, choose minutes. He's been really good this year. Paris G.
I like Paris G a lot. My final pick, based on that, another midfielder. Can't have enough. I have 4 midfielders here. Sean Young.
Sean Young. Okay. And again, a little versatile, and I think he's had a really quiet but great season. Carl Wimet from Atletico Ottawa.
Good one.
Center back, can play it. If I wanted to go to a 3-5-2 or something, I like Wimet there. We need a coach, though.
Okay. You can go first. Go ahead.
I was going to offer that to you. I didn't want to. So there's 2 trains of thought here. I have 3 Wanderers. And clearly, Patrice Geyser's got something going. But I'm going to go tried and true day oneer. I want Tommy Wheeldon Jr. just for his suits on the touchline for me. He's going to be my coach.
Wheels up. Okay. Listen, I have to pick Bobby Smirniotis because no one else wants to vote on this guy as a coach of the year. But Bobby's won it all. If this team is built to win trophies, Smirniotis is my coach. So there you have it. So those are our teams.
Yes.
We'll put it up on social media and let us know who has the better side. Who would win this fantasy game?
I think
Adam's okay team or Wheeler's dominant force?
Adam's team with
FC
4
Wheels up.
MVP candidates in it. I love my team. Yes, please let us know, vote. And next year, Gareth, let's not do this after 3 rounds. Let's do this earlier in the year. And if there's some good traction, some good reaction, we'll see if we can do some kind of a
Awesome.
pool or something. So that wraps up the draft. Vote on the teams. My team is the best.